Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. Sun is shining.
Bob Marley.
Weather is sweet.
I thought we're not allowed to talk about the weather anymore.
We're not supposed to talk about the weather, but when it's this good. Hello, everyone. We're sitting in a sunny studio.
Well, it's not sunny yet because the sun hasn't risen. It's quite cool in here.
It actually has risen. It is 8:51 at the time of recording. I woke up at 5:45 this morning to clear blue skies. And I was like, it's going to be a good day.
Are you still woken up by the baby or do you wake up on your own accord?
A bit of a mixture.
Right.
So I would say the baby gets up between 6:30 and 7, but maybe starts making noises like like 6-ish. But I try to get up before the baby.
Okay, fine.
Because I really, the worst start to my day is waking up to the baby crying.
Yeah.
Because then I just feel like I'm against it. Like I've lost my head start. I'm then scrambled. I'm like, oh, I got to jump out of bed. Because I always take the deal in our household is I do the mornings. Because Vicky, my wife, basically does everything else. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And I'm away 95% of the year.
Yeah.
When I'm around, amongst everything else, I always try and do the mornings. Because that's the one thing which I think I can at least.
But you settled into a proper routine now. You both know your jobs, don't you? And
well,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
but
blah,
as I say, the problem is I'm never here.
Yeah.
So there are jobs when I'm here, but then I have to be realistic that a lot of the time I'm away and it's all on her.
Yeah.
So when I'm around, I try and do a bit more than it. I go over and above. And the mornings are my vibe because I love mornings anyway.
Yeah, me too.
So I just don't like it when I have to jump out of bed, go get the baby, feed the baby, because then I haven't done anything for myself. So I try, if I can do 5:30 to 5:45, I'm ecstatic because that at least gives me like about half an hour.
Yeah.
It usually tends to be more like 6, and then the baby starts making noise at 6. So yeah, anyway, this morning was a good start.
She's not really a baby anymore,
she's a toddler.
mate. She's a toddler now.
She's a fully grown adult.
Yeah,
18 months.
Yeah,
18
and
months.
it goes so quick, doesn't it?
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Walking, talking nutter we've got in our house now.
Yeah. It's so cool now. I love
we
that
have a lot of
stuff.
fun. Yeah. So we literally, so this weekend we went up to Yorkshire because we saw the weather forecast. We'd come back from the south of France going, right, hate the UK, let's leave this country, absolute dump. I said, well, yeah.
It happens literally every time.
every time. Every
time.
So I said, look at the weather. Look how awful this place is. Opened up the weather forecast and it was like, ooh, actually, looks like it's going to be a nice weekend. So we put this last minute staycation.
Lovely.
I've worked with this company, Holiday at Home, quite a few times up in Yorkshire. I needed to go up there anyway to go to Alexander's Prestige. So I thought, you know what? Let's just go. We'll book one of their little cottages.
Lovely.
Take the family up, and then it's about 30 minutes down to Alexander. So I can just pop out one day and go do some filming. I was like, oh my God, this is all coming together. And it was amazing, mate. We stayed in this little village called Osmotherley, proper northern little North York Moors village. Had 3 pubs in it, which I thought was quite impressive considering there's about 10 houses.
I was going to say, yeah.
10 houses and 3 pubs. I was like, I really am in the north now. This beautiful little cottage, super nice. Had a little garden out the back and pizza oven and about 5 bedrooms. We just hung out in the sunshine. It was glorious.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
And she was hilarious, our little daughter, just running wild, enjoying it. We had horses in the paddock opposite. So every morning, hi, Nene.
Yeah, bless
her. Yeah, they're still there. Today was a good day. Today's a good day. What I say, woke up early, got ahead of myself. Bright blue skies. It's still sunny now. You're right, it's not baking hot in here yet. That's the good thing. It will be around lunchtime, at which point I'll leave and go to a nice aircon regulated coffee shop. But there's more to talk about for my weekend. But what have you been up to, mate? Did you kick back? You got a bit of a tan.
I just catch the sun, mate. That's the problem.
It's your naturally olive skin.
Yeah, a bit of olive skin. And nice, literally, mate, like Romany, gypsy, pikey, whatever you want to call it. Basically what I am. Like a mongrel. I had a bit of barbecue on Sunday, which was nice. Yeah.
Are you the cooker? The chef?
Yeah, I'll get involved. Yeah.
What do you throw on the barbie?
Well, sausages, burgers, wings, drumsticks, chicken,
Do you
all that jazz.
slice the sausages down the middle, or do you just put them on whole?
No, I have a little. Well, I pierce them.
Pierce them, yeah, so they don't explode.
Yeah, the thing is, mate, I am a really bad cook, but I'm all right on barbecue.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like, man, make food.
Yeah, literally.
Man, light fire. Man, make food.
Yeah. And actually, I'm a bit overcautious because it was drummed into me when I was a kid. I never cooked when I was a kid, but it was drummed into me about, like, meat poisoning and food poisoning and salmonella.
So you burn everything.
No. So when we used to go barbecues as a kid, my mum would, like, before she'd give us the food, she'd check it all to make sure it's been cooked properly.
That's amazing.
So that's been drummed into me. So when I get involved now, I really make sure it's cooked and I check it and check it and check it and check it. But otherwise, mate, I can't cook because I don't really have. I can put stuff in the oven and stuff like most men, but I literally don't have the patience, mate. I've just got no patience to cook.
Or the creativity.
Interested.
Like if you opened your fridge, could you go, I got this, I got that? No, yeah.
Because as well, like they say this, don't they? Like if you don't like something, get good at it and then you'll like it. But I just don't have any interest in cooking.
Yeah. And you're right, from a timing point of view, that's the hard thing.
Yeah.
Because when you've had a hectic day and you get anything, I've now got to spend 45 minutes making a meal. Yeah. We still do that Hello Fresh thing.
Yeah.
And when the menus come through, we can open it up and you get, I think we do 5 menus a week. And they allocate how much time they reckon it will take to cook the meal. And there's the shortest ones are the 20-minute ones. So I always go, right, I'll do these 3. And leave her with the ones that say like 45 to 50 minutes. Yeah. You've had a very relaxed day doing a full-time job and being a full-time mother.
Yeah.
Why don't you now cook me a 50-minute meal?
Yeah.
How do you think I am on a barbecue?
I bet you're probably all right.
You've misread that.
Really?
Mate, I can't light a fire. I genuinely, we had 2 fireplaces in the cottage at the weekend, and every time I lit them, they went out. So on a barbecue, my problem is I can't get the coals hot enough, so then everything takes like 4.5 hours to cook.
But you can buy stuff, mate, to get the coals hot.
That's what I try to do.
Yep.
I can't explain it.
No.
There's an obvious truth in the fact that,
Would it be okay? So it's fair for me to say that you're not a particularly practical person, but a very creative person.
Yes,
you are creative, obviously, because of your job.
I'm very good in the kitchen because I can be creative with the ingredients,
right.
And there's a hob that turns itself on.
Yeah.
If it's like, look, build this fire, cook this meat practically, I panic a bit.
So if you're in a desert, if you're plonked in a desert, are you going to die?
Potentially, but water's the key, isn't it? And I think I would be ingenuity. I think I would be inventive in terms of finding and getting water. That's fine. It's just the man make fire thing.
Yeah,
because someone else made my fire.
Yeah, I bet they did. Yeah,
another man.
Another man.
I have a very vivid memory of my dad once attempting to do a barbecue. And he bought these, they're like tin foil trays from Waitrose. Barbecue your peppers for your thing. And literally going through about 6 of these tin foil trays.
Let me get any
And Jack, please bleep this out. It's going, come on, hell. What is this, darling? We just weren't barbecuers, but luckily Dalesford was around the corner, so if we wanted a barbecue, we could just pop there. I'm doing myself no services. But no car action in the nice weather? Didn't think about going for a bit of a cruise in the M3 or anything?
No, I don't do that anymore, mate. I mean, I haven't done that for years.
Really?
Mate, long time. But actually, I did see, I went for a walk with the dogs on Sunday morning, and I did see a lot of bloody 8 a.m. in the morning, nice cars with all the roofs down. Everyone's out. And I saw a Ferrari Portofino drive past as I'm walking the dogs.
We're going to be talking about that in a second.
And I looked at the guy, had his glasses on, had his roof down, and I thought, bloody hell, that was me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was
living your best life.
Literally it's what I used to do. Yeah, I'd be out in whatever sports car, supercar, because I didn't know you then, firstly, and I had a nice car, but all my friends didn't.
Yeah.
So, and I had nowhere to go. Like, there was none of these supercar groups, or they were, but they weren't really formed like they are now. And, you know, like, I had a car, but I didn't really. So I literally used to go to London, have something to eat, or I'd literally just go for a drive.
But this is the thing, but just the nice weather. Do you not just want to get in the car anyway, like just to go to get a coffee, or like just go out and about, like just, whatever your daily errands are? Would you not just think when the weather's nice, does it not encourage you to be like, oh yeah, I'll take that instead of that?
No,
like, for example, I know you've only got the M3 in the truck at the moment, but it really doesn't interest you at all.
Interested, mate. I, you know, like even now when I go to London for something to eat, we'd always go in the car. We don't know. We just get on the train.
Really?
I don't drive into London anymore. It's an absolute joke. And I live 11 miles from central London.
Yeah, I'm with you on the London thing. London's a dump at the moment.
But I used to, mate. I'd a beautiful sunny day. Come on, let's go in the car. Let's go and have something to eat. But we literally just get on the train. We live fairly close to a train station. We walk to the train station. 20 minutes, I'm in central London.
See, I you know, for me, the minute the weather is borderline nice, I'm straight to the car. As in, you know, not to be like, I definitely do not do the, I'm just going to go for an hour-long blast through the Surrey Hills.
Yeah.
Because I'm spoiled with my job.
Yeah.
I get to do exhilarating driving for work. So I
Yeah.
don't need that. I know a lot of people work 9 to 5. They get to the weekend. They just want to get out in the morning before the baby wakes up, before their missus wakes up, before their tasks for the day, and just go for a drive.
Absolutely.
I totally applaud that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I
used to do it.
Yeah, I don't need to do that anymore. But I do just want to get out in the cars. I enjoy being out in the cars. And God, I love that Panamera. It's got that with the sunroof and just mate, Walla Walla cruising.
But
like,
where are you going?
Well, I've got stuff to do. Whatever I'm
fair.
doing, I just like being in the car in the sunshine. Okay. Yes, I would take the. I would take the GT3. Actually, to be fair, I'd take the CS. I don't really like driving the CS in and around London because it just feels like a waste. Not that it's bad. Like, people assume that it's the F1 gearbox that I don't like driving. It's totally fine in the F1 gearbox, but I'm just like, why am I in a Stradale? Like,
I agree. Yeah.
That does feel like showing. But the GT3 for sure, the Panamera, like, I just like being in the car.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Speaking of Portofinos, though, that perfectly segues us. Segways?
Segways.
Thank you. R.I.P. Do you know about that? R.I.P. Mr. Segway killed himself on a Segway.
No.
Yeah, the inventor of the Segway. Let's just make sure this is not an urban myth. Inventor of Segway supposedly went off a cliff on a Segway.
What, on purpose?
He died from injuries sustained falling from a cliff while riding his own Segway. No joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Claim to fame. Probably only famous because he died on a Segway.
Yeah, well, he invented the Segway. Yeah. So. Anyway, we are now segueing to Alexander's Prestige because, I went to visit that and I want to talk about my experience behind the wheel of the Purosangue and the USS. But 2 cars I've discussed first. And the first one is Portofino M. Mate, I know I keep banging on about this.
Just buy one then.
I think I should. I think I need to.
Yeah.
Because
you've already got 4 cars, you definitely need another
well, I
one.
have to get rid of one, won't I? But
What though?
I've long said that is the whip for me. I think most people know I basically nearly ordered one, went through it all, spec one up with Ferrari, got the finance through, very nearly put a deposit down, and then the GT3 slot came around. So I was like, And if you look at it, still they're doing fairly well in terms of residual value because
they come off in value a bit now.
Yeah, so I would say they're now 175.
Because they were over 200 not long ago.
For a long time. But now I think Roma Spiders are starting to trickle through.
Yeah.
The values are coming down a bit. Because for a long time, that was the lowest or the entry level convertible Ferrari.
Yeah.
But now Roma Spider's knocking around. But it is essentially the same car. That is where Ferrari were very clever. The Roma Spider is essentially a Portofino M, just with a little bit more like added safety equipment. No joke. There's a few other tweaks and changes, but they're very similar experiences. Yeah. And I think the Portofino M is a better looking car. Yeah.
And actually, I've got a funny story. Another Portofino story. When we was coming back from Germany week before last in the M3, it was Le Mans weekend, so there was bloody cars everywhere on the way back. And there was a Portofino there. Yeah. And my girlfriend, she never ever really looks up or talks about cars. And this Portofino, so she went, oh, that's a nice car.
Yeah, it is.
And I said, yeah, it's a nice car. She said, you wouldn't believe that's the entry-level Ferrari. Yeah. She said, would you not want one of them, like nice convertible in the summer? I said, what for? I said, like, we've got 2 kids, we've got 2 dogs.
It's got 4 seats.
Like, yeah, fair. But where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. Well, you could have bring it like this weekend. I said, and what's wrong with the M3? Like, or what's wrong with going in? Where are we going? Like, who cares?
No, but mate, it's nice. So this ties into the whole Urus argument as well. You're over it because you've been there and you've done it.
Yeah,
right? You've been there.
And I said that to her. Yeah.
The point being that obviously you're right. You're going to have less use cases for a Portofino in your life.
Yeah.
Because of your lifestyle.
Way less now.
But if you had driven to the Nürburgring and back in a Portofino in the sunshine, you would have had a lovely time.
You're right.
You'd been in a Ferrari, getting in and out of it. It would have been lovely. You would have been cool. You would have felt a little bit like, wow, look at me.
And it is a good car, by the way, as well.
It's the M is unbelievable. Mate.
Yeah.
I think the Portofino is fine. I don't think it's a Ferrari through and through.
Yeah, but it's fine for bloody 80% of the people, mate.
Of course,
you know.
but what I'm saying, I think the M is the one.
Fair.
And yeah, like you would have a better overall time than in the M3 because you just feel special. It's a bloody Ferrari, mate. But you're right. The problem being that you can use the M3 in every scenario. Where that would have been the first time you've taken out this year, probably.
Literally, and then like, when am I going to go in it next? What, the next time I go to Germany, or the next time? I suppose I could bring it on one of our tours.
Oh, hello.
That'd be all right.
Speaking of which,
here we go.
Well,
I knew you was going to see. I'm in.
You're jumping us all over the place. We're going to have to do a lot of circling back. I think by the time this episode goes out, it's quite outrageous to say.
Unbelievable.
The tour will be sold out.
Unbelievable.
So it's Tuesday morning. It's now 9:07. Let's just double check. There was one space remaining.
Yeah.
Which you guys are unbelievable.
We're absolutely blown away, mate.
We actually are. Sorry, Twiggy's shaking her little
hot
coat in the background. She's hot. Yeah, still one space remaining, mate. But I think by the time that this episode goes out, given the fact it's been 4 days since we've announced this and we've sold 29 out of 30 spaces, absolutely unreal. So huge thanks to all of the inquiries. Actually, there's a lot of people registering for payment details and things like that. Lots of people reaching out. We're super excited to welcome the so far currently 29 guests. Yeah. Potentially 30, and maybe if that space is still remaining, you can go and check it out. btgtours.com. And based on this, we haven't done the second event yet, but based on the demand, we're already putting plans in place for the 2025 events. Yeah.
So, and just cool. Even if you miss out, there is a waiting list, right?
There's a waiting list.
Bit of a waiting list. So even if you miss out, because potentially there could be some dropouts, things change in people's lives. So, if you're watching this and you think, oh, damn, I've missed out, get on that waiting list because you could still get on.
Yes. I don't want to be negative, but there are 125 people already on the waiting list.
Yeah, but mate, like...
No, I agree.
But,
No, sure. I don't want to be... I'm just,
You can't win a raffle if you don't buy a ticket.
It's a very good point. Trying to be too realistic. Anyway, so back to Portofino M.
Yeah.
So Alexander's having this Rosso Mugello car with a tan interior. Black roof, which I'm not usually a fan of.
Painted black?
Yeah, painted black roof. I'm not... But I on that car, it's what you almost always see.
Yeah.
But I would always want body colour roof, but 185 grand. And I was sitting there going... For me, right, because I've always said the Portofino M, it's essentially a Ferrari F-Type. Where does that fit in my life? Actually,
it doesn't.
Well, hold on a sec. Don't cry. Don't scream. It's a GT3 replacement. I'm not talking about now. But in the future, think about me. Think about who I am.
I try not to. I know who you are.
The Stradale's not going there, right?
No.
The Stradale is the keeper.
No, yeah, of course.
The GT3, I love and adore, but I've always said I don't think it's going to be a forever car.
No.
I would like it to be a forever car, but I just don't think it will be a forever car.
No, once you finish with it, I'm sure you will replace it.
And I love a front engine GT.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get another F-Type just yet. A Portofino M in the perfect spec, 2 Ferrari garage with the Panamera. And then, bear with me, because I'd still need a Porsche in my life because I'm just that guy.
Yeah, I've got Porsche, you've got Panamera.
I got a Panamera, but I think I need, a 911 in my life. I could happily either go and buy another Carrera T, don't laugh. I could happily go and buy a cheaper GT3 variant if I really felt like I needed that. But let's face it, do I?
No, probably not.
Or I could go get a classic. Classic 911. What a lineup that would be. Challenge Stradale, Portofino M, classic 911, and a Panamera.
Way too much money,
I'm
mate.
so rich.
But to be fair, you deserve it because you work hard. So it's not, it's, you know.
Well, I'm young.
Well, not
It's
really.
all, no, it's all going to come back. I mean, apart from Australia, everything's going to lose tons of money. But
actually, as well, why you say that, why I'm young, because I get people all the time, and I said this to a lad the other day, coming in, debating whether to buy a car, debating what to do that. And like, when you get to my age, unfortunately, people die and...
Mate, you're not that old.
No, but long before their
Bloody
years
hell.
or something happens tragically and whatnot. And like, I always say to people now, like, if you want a car and you can afford it or you want anything in life, stop debating it, just go and get it because you can get it by bus tomorrow. Like, you know, like, and I've seen it all firsthand. And like, sometimes I kick myself because over the years I've lost so much money on cars. You know what I mean? But and then I think to myself, like, because it's all about memories, mate. Like when we sit here and I don't know, people go, "Oh, you don't care about cars anymore," and I don't. But some of the memories I've had down the years, I mean, we've had some mega memories, but some of the memories I've had down the years of having these cars, and yeah, I've done my conkers on some of them, but you can't get them memories back. So, like, bloody get on with it.
Well, the motto I live my life by, which I'm now going to totally misquote because it's 9 o'clock and I've only had one coffee.
Have you?
Yep. Something along the lines of, there's always opportunities to make money,
Yeah.
but you can't buy time.
No.
The thing is, time in my head is like memories, experiences, which
Yeah.
of course you can buy memories. Well, you can't buy memories, but you can buy experiences. So the point being that, look, as Tony says, you only live once.
Yep.
We can all make financial disastrous decisions as long as it doesn't impact your family and your children and things like that. Within reason. I'm not encouraging people to go out there and lose tons of monny. But
Yeah, I am.
But the point being, because you want them to come spend it with you.
Yeah.
If you buy a car and it loses your money, then just go and work hard. Like,
Yeah,
like
literally,
I don't want to be
agree,
all
mate.
Molly May about it and be like,
No.
you know, we've all got 24 hours in the day, just go and work. But, you know, I'm trying to say I'm on the same line of thinking. Of
Yeah, absolutely.
go out there and do it. And I also want to do it before I get bitter and sour like you and hate cars.
Yeah. Well, you got about 5 years left.
Yeah. So let's see, because I took the GT. I've had a few adventures in the GT3 the last few weeks, and I just, you know, what I took it up to Supercar Driver Secret Meet, and I just do love it.
Yeah,
I
of
do
course.
love it, but it's becoming my European car is what I'm aware of. I use it less and
Which
less in
is
this
fine.
country, which is fine. I think I'd use a Portofino M more because of a GT car vibe,
Okay.
but then I'd miss having a Porsche 911 in my life, you know. Anyway, not problems I have to worry about because I'm not, FYI, garage is not changing this year.
No.
There might be some additions.
Again.
Yeah,
More.
But, well, you never know. I don't want to never say never. Never say never. But GT3, Challenge Stradale, Panamera, not going anywhere this year.
Right.
That will stay. But yeah, so main reason I went to Alexander's was to do a comparison, which I've been wanting to do really forever, weirdly. Purosangue and Urus.
Well, not forever, mate, because they've not been out that long.
Exactly, good point. Since the cars have been out. Just because I've been intrigued. Also, because you know me, I'm of the bandwagon that the Purosangue is not an SUV.
Right. But even though you've compared it to an SUV.
Yes, as my point, my purpose to that is, here's an SUV, here's the Purosangue, look how different they are.
Right. Well, you'd have been better off comparing it to an RS6 because I'm sure Alexander's have got an RS6 in stock.
I think they probably do.
Yeah.
You're right, and I referenced RS6s many times, but my reason for it is Lamborghini/Ferrari.
Okay.
This is two supercar brands doing four-door, four-seat cars completely differently.
Okay.
That was the narrative.
Okay.
So not here are two SUVs from the supercar brands. Here are two four-door, four-seaters. Ferrari have gone down this route. Lambo have gone down that route.
Okay.
How do they compare?
Yeah.
Do you want to guess my summary, or shall I tell you my summary and you pick it apart?
I'm not sure I will pick it apart because I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
The Urus, ultimate one-car garage.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini that you can take anywhere.
Yeah.
And the car that is always a Lamborghini. Just ticks every box.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
This just does it. Like, no wonder they're so popular.
Yep.
Fairly unbelievable.
Yep.
Depressingly Audi-like in its basic mode. Feels RSQ80, lots of parts binning vibes.
But then it works at least.
Works, big Lambo badge,
Yeah.
get it in a Larry colour, who cares?
Yep. Actually drives fantastically well. Good
Unbelievably
handling.
well.
Yeah. Drives like a Lambo.
And everyone says, oh, it's not a real Lambo if it's got that crappy V8 engine. But the world is changing.
Yep.
We're not all having V10s, V12s, V16s, as we're about to talk about. So, you know, I don't... For me, it doesn't bother me that it's that. It sounds mega, that engine.
Yeah.
And it pops and bangs. So Lambo, like tick, 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 tick. Very few negatives. As I say.
Comfortable.
Super comfortable. Oh my God, so comfortable.
Nice cabin.
The ride is fantastic in that S.
Yeah.
Better than the F-Pace SVR. So you just I really can't think of many negatives.
Yep.
Because especially if you buy one, the residual values are unbelievable.
Yeah. The only negative is that it is a Lamborghini. That's the only negative.
Yeah, I'm not a Lambo guy.
Yeah, me too.
So would I have one? No. I would have the Audi.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Right, and the Bentley.
Negative is brand snobbery. Yeah, or the Cayenne GT Turbo or Turbo GT. What's that one?
Actually, yeah,
That's
right.
the one to have, isn't
That's
it?
probably have
For
the
us.
Porsche.
Because that, I get so confused by what elements of platform sharing goes on. But I think the Cayenne and the RSQ8 are very similar.
Very similar.
And then the Urus
It's
sort of
basically the same.
No, but it sort of steps out slightly differently.
But not too differently, mate, because
Fine.
because like I've not been to the Lamborghini factories, but friends that are big customers of Lamborghini, you literally the car comes in a crate, they assemble it and paint it at the Lamborghini factory.
Fair.
That's it.
Fair.
So it is literally an Audi.
Fine. Somebody's going to
Full
come
on.
in here now aggressively with what? Anyway.
Well, they can't, mate, because my friends have seen it with their own eyes at the factory.
Yeah, but the point being, they're seeing it arriving in a crate, but what are the differences of the thing in the crate? Because if you told me that a Q8 drives in, they take the body panels off and stick you, then I'd be like, fair enough.
They literally just paint it.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, but it's obviously it's platform sharing, isn't it?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
just there's something either in the powertrain or something that goes on. I'm pretty sure, which makes the, and I could be
It's
totally
remapping,
getting
I
this
think,
wrong.
mate.
It's the
It's-
RSQ8 and the Cayenne Turbo GT very similar,
Yeah.
and the Urus just a little bit different, but similar, but a little bit.
Yeah. There is a slight different feel in the way they drive, but that can
Yeah.
all be done by bloody suspension tweaks and like ECU changes and stuff.
Maybe, maybe. Purosangue, just a very practical Ferrari,
Well, which is rare.
compromised. It is immediately a million times more sporty. Ride is quite firm, not firm, but firmer, or more. Maybe you are more aware of more feedback. You get more feedback through the wheel, through the chassis. Seats a lot firmer.
Yep.
Space a lot more cramped. Boot space worse. Ride height lower. It's weird because it feels like you're sitting in an 812 Superfast
Jacked up.
Safari edition.
Yeah.
So it's this very similar view out the bonnet, and then immediately you just want to drive it like a Ferrari.
More of a sense of occasion because it's a Ferrari.
Yeah,
than
you
the Lambo,
put it straight
yeah.
into sport mode. You're on
Yeah.
the flappy paddles. You're driving fast. The Urus, I just like wafting around. Like this feels big and heavy. The Purosangue feels a little bit big. I don't know if it feels heavy, but it feels a little bit big. But you still just want to crack on.
The thing with that, I mean, it is fairly big and it is quite heavy, but the thing that's deceiving with that Purosangue, because of the really light, quick steering in the front end, it feels like it's a lot lighter than what it is.
Yeah. It's clever that because it's 2,000 kilos.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember when I drove it, I thought, bloody hell, like,
what's going on here?
well, yeah. It does literally feel like a V8 mid-engine car.
And my summary was, I tried to, I was like, why wouldn't you just have the Urus and an F8 and, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'd have the Purosangue. If I had all the money in the world, if I had Euro Millions money, I would have the Purosangue. The problem is you have to then have also a Range Rover or Bentayga or an RS. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not the one car garage. You
Yeah.
couldn't live with a Purosangue
Yeah. I don't think I'd buy one.
because of the
Really?
money.
Because, like, you could bloody have a Urus and then another supercar.
But that's on paper, you're right. But if you drove them, us being us, if you literally were Lawrence Stroll, money was no object. You didn't even care. You didn't even notice. It's a Ferrari, mate.
Yeah,
And it's a Ferrari that you could have 3 mates in with you. You could put the dog in. It is practical. It is more comfortable.
I guess it depends on who you are as a person, because how many times have we said this before? There's so many people that can afford these great big whacking cars, But they drive around in bloody 20-year-old Volvo estates.
Well, this is the point. That's what I clocked.
If you really want one, then fair. But
doing Urus first, then Purosangue is as great and usable and everything. You just wouldn't use the Purosangue every day because it is a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you're so right. All the money in the world, people are chauffeured or driving around in comfortable, reliable, fairly understated cars. Actually, the people, in inverted commas, dailing a Purosangue are just doing twat laps around Harrods for Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, because even, well, to be a Shmee is a bad example. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's there as a sort of...
Well, one of my friends has got a Purosangue and he drives from one end of Leicestershire to the other end in his Purosangue to go to his factory and back.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but that's
every day.
Every day. But it's like 10 miles each way.
That's cool.
Drives to his...
Dailing a Purosangue. Well, there you go. We're wrong.
No, we're not wrong, but that's a scenario that I can give you that I know someone that does drive a Purosangue. He goes to their football in it.
Yeah, perfect.
You know.
Well, it's like
but
a
he's
Lusso.
got like 10 cars.
But it's the same as the FF and Lusso. People who've owned those cars usually use them a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it's super
So he's the guy who had the red Countach. Did you see the red Countach that was flying around when they first
new
come?
Countach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the guy.
Red and gold wheels.
Had the first car. Yeah.
Awful tasting cars. No,
terrible taste. Really bad.
We're winding him up. Should we talk about this?
What is it?
The Bugatti Tourbillon. Tourbillon.
Should I get excited about this?
Yes, mate. This is unbelievable.
Right.
Firstly, it's Bugatti.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the replacement to the Chiron.
But
this is not a variant.
It's not fast enough.
What do you mean?
276 mile an hour.
Yeah. That's the base car, mate.
Bloody walking pace.
It's the base car.
Right.
The whole point that you need to be looking at is this at the end.
What is it?
V16.
Was quite big.
Just a bit, mate.
Right. Not electric.
Hyper hybrid.
Oh. Nice.
I think it's a Mahav.
It's a Mahav.
Radical hybridized V16 engine, which has been built, I think, in collaboration with Cosworth. So, let's scroll down here. 250 units. Yeah. 3.2 million. That's the bit that we don't like. Right. Well, let's move past it.
But they're really, they are. A Bugatti's not, you sort of forget about the price.
Yeah.
It's not aimed at bloody anyone apart from the 250 people that can afford it.
The Chiron and the Veyron, they've dropped the W60 for a V60. 1,775 brake horsepower plug-in hybrid centered around a screaming naturally aspirated V16.
It's unbelievable engineering achievement, though.
It's actually insane. Engineered in collaboration with Cosworth. Their decision was to not hybridize the W16 or develop a pure electric Bugatti model. This I want to come back to in 2 seconds. Matteo Rimac, CEO, said he sees no reason for Bugatti to go electric. The man
company
who spent his entire life developing electric powertrains and electric vehicles has said, you know what? This company, let's not go electric. Yeah. We've developed a new V16 engine that we want to use as an engine for a while and maybe some other engines. And I can't see a reason why it wouldn't be impossible. The Tourbillon's 8.3 litre V16 is massive, measuring around a metre end to end, but weighs just 252 kilos.
Oh, they've done well.
Mate, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Produces 986 horsepower in its own right. Makes it one of the most potent combustion engines installed into a road car. And then you've got Rimac supplied electric motors, 2 on the front axle, 1 at the rear, supplying an extra 789 horsepower. Tourbillon becomes comfortably the most powerful combustion car on the market. Only likes the Rimac Nevera, Lotus Evija, and Pininfarina Battista, which is essentially a Rimac Nevera, I believe, have more power. Everything about this blows my mind, but I think it's so fascinating as a thing in 2024. So the engineering we're going to learn more about. They've done some amazing stuff on the interior. The steering wheel, 2-axle, and the wheel moves around the central hub. Mm-hmm. You seen that? I
saw that. Yeah.
And there's a load of other stuff going on. Of course, the tyres, there'll be a fascinating story about the tyres. Like, everything about this car will be unbelievable engineering and
the
design.
big fascinating story about the tyres is that they're probably 30 grand to replace.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
But I just think it's amazing that they've come out with new engine technology in this world we're living in. Yes, it's super hybridized and they're using Rimac electric motors. But as we've said in a very recent episode, this makes sense for the performance car market. This makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Super hybridized cars, using everything we know about combustion engines, making them as clean and green as possible, as powerful as possible, with then fat electric motors to aid in performance and everything else. And then chuck in a, P1 fuel, off you go.
Yeah. And they're literally probably already working on that next car with a smaller engine and more.
Will it be a smaller? Why does it need to be smaller? The whole point here, in this level, why does it need to be smaller?
Yeah. But why does
doesn't.
an F1 engine need to be smaller?
Well, because I think F1 is using it as a place of R&D, isn't it? They're trying to change things to sort of push far. But Bugatti, I mean, they've literally it's a whole new engine. They haven't downsized. It's not like, okay, we've gone to a V8 this time.
No.
They've gone to play V16.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to, in road cars, see that. I think in a Fiesta or whatever, sure.
It's dead, the Fiesta, the new one coming.
Fine.
Electric one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Which
is fine.
A baby 0.5 litre engine with a big hybrid, of course, but in this super performance stuff, having the next iterations of Ferrari flagship V12s still existing as V12s with hybrid assistance. Like, there we go. Off you go, off to the races. I love the look of this. I'm a huge Bugatti fan. I just think everything about this is amazing.
And they're going to...
9,000 RPM, mate.
Yeah. But the big problem with that car, not that probably the 250 people that have bought it or buying it care, is that there's another one coming in a minute that's going to be even faster, but they'll probably have that one as well, because that's the problem.
The special editions, you mean?
There'll be millions of special... There'll be one that does over 300 mile an hour.
Of course. The world record car,
Yeah.
That's always the way with Bugatti, isn't it?
Yeah. But the thing is, when you're at that end of the market, it's almost like billionaire status, and you just bloody have all of them anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just keep piling in.
Off to the races.
Yeah. Unbelievable
thing. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Anyway, we asked for some questions from all of you. So,
can I ask you, coming back to that, can I ask you another question? Say if you're a big Ferrari customer, you're a big Ferrari collector, do you think they have one of them as well? Or do you just think they go, well, actually, I'm just going to stay with Ferrari? Because that's the sort of level of car, right?
So I'm going to find it. There's a stat Bugatti know, which is how many other cars Bugatti owners tend to have.
Yeah.
How many cars Bugatti? And it's insane.
They're all just big collectors,
It's like 200 or something like that.
Yeah.
The average Bugatti customer owns about 84 cars, 3 jets and 1 yacht.
Yeah. It's billionaire level.
Insane, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable, yeah.
It's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Because obviously Ferrari have customers like that as well. They obviously have them real...
Of course, but then they also have Portofino M customers.
Of course, yeah. Whereas Bugatti, they're all just real... It's billionaire status, isn't it?
Buying a new Bugatti, you've got many other things in your life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's not your... I've had a good year at work, lads. Let's go and buy a Bugatti alongside my Range Rover Sport.
Yeah.
That's from the president of Bugatti back in 2014, I think. Unbelievable.
Yeah, mad. Yeah, I just thought I thought, well, do you think there's a crossover? But of course there is.
There's got everything. Yeah. And I think probably, you've got the Tourbillon, the Chiron, the Ferron, and a 250 short wheelbase, and a helicopter. Like it's not. I've got a Revuelto and a Chiron, and it's. I think it's
or an Urus.
Yeah. Not to slag off Lamborghini even more. An STO and a Tourbillon. Anyway, sorry, we're going to go back to questions, weren't we? So let's just launch into this. I will have a scroll through, pick out some, and then I'll hand the phone over to Tony, and he can have a little pick through as well. So let's kick things off. We're going to try and skip through the boring ones. I asked for some real juicy ones. ANDMOF93. God, I hate Instagram usernames. ANDMOF93. Which car from the other person's history would you have crushed, and which other would you own? So which of my cars in the past would you have crushed, and which one would you have liked to have owned? And I'll do the vice versa for you. I already know straight away.
Crushed. 540C. Owned the CS.
Oh, good lad.
Because I was going to say the GT3, but that's too like. I mean, I've bloody been there and done it with him. So
it's manual. You wouldn't have a driver.
That's literally why I'm in a penny I said, yeah, I'm at it. It's like stupid, that car. Yeah. So
I would have crushed your R8 with the silly stickers that you tried to make an LMS or whatever it was, Le Mans edition, and I would have owned your 991.23 RS, the black one.
Not any of the Pistas?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, no. I would have the blue California Pista. What was that one? I'd have the blue. That was the
coupe one.
Yeah, the coupe.
Yeah, that was probably my favourite car.
Yeah. So I for some reason that skipped. I just thought of the grey one and the dark blue one.
Yeah.
I'd have the blue.
Yeah, the California one. Yeah, that was probably my favourite one as well.
Yeah, you're right. Well done. Thanks for reminding me.
What about Speciale?
Nah, mate.
Yeah. See, crap.
I genuinely wouldn't have a Speciale.
No, nor would I.
I wouldn't have a Speciale.
Never again.
And actually, segue here.
Another one.
I'd have the Piste over the Speciale.
Me too.
Mate, 488. What's going on?
Why not?
I saw Chris Harris, oi Chris, harking on about 458. Aren't 458s the gem at the moment? Like, should we all be getting 458s? Chris, no, mate. 488. What are you on about, bro? Come on.
I agree. It's a fantastic 150 grand now for a 488.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All the car you want.
PCP, HP, or buy outright. Advice, please, for circa 40 to 60k price range. That's from S Appleyard. Tony, that's over to you.
Depends what you do with your money. If you've got 60 grand in the bank and you've got absolutely no other need for it at all, and it's just sitting there doing nothing and not likely to do anything, write a check, because that's your cheapest form of money. And if it all goes wrong, you've still got the asset. Okay, it's depreciating, but you've still got the asset. You can sell it. And don't buy new, obviously, because that money will then be 30 grand after 3 years. But if you buy a used car, 2-year-old, and you've got 60 grand, in 2 years' time, it'll be worth 50. So you've done some money. But if you're literally got no other use for it, then do that. If you got some use for your money, then it's 2 3s and a 6, PCP and HP. Because obviously PCP, the monthly payment's lower, but you pay more interest over the term. The HP agreement is the monthly payment's higher, but your interest is lower over the term. So whatever.
What's the recommended deposit for a 60 grand car on either of them?
I mean, they'll do it, but if you're real credit strong, they'll do it with bloody no deposit. But
what would you say?
Typically 10%, 5-6 grand.
6 grand.
Yeah.
Team Tyrrell Adventures. How do I get into the automotive scene? How did you start? Well, it's applicable to both of us, really. I think I would say depends where you are in the world. Places like the UK, Los Angeles, many major cities around the world, there often tends to be a bit of a scene, whether that's street supercar spotting scene, whether that's cars and coffee scenes. I think social media is a great tool these days to try and find things that are going on in and around your local area. So start using hashtags, start doing searches, see if there's photographs of local meets, look for local clubs, so the Porsche club, the MG owners, the Bentley owners, what that might be. Even if you haven't got one of those cars, just see if you can go along to one of the meets and just start shaking hands, start seeing some people. If you're active on Instagram, I say as an owner, as a photographer, as a videographer, just start interacting. Interaction's the main key, so commenting, sending DMs, posting content. And you got to be a people person. You just got to talk to people. No point in going to Cars and Coffee and stand there by yourself. Just go be brave. Like, we're all car people in those scenes, in those situations, if you can find those events, and even if there's not ones that are happening to you locally, find ones that are big, that are happening to you at least 2 or 3 hours away on a train or a car that you can go and visit. And yeah, just go and talk to people, because we all share the same interests. Even if they're strangers, we do all share that common ground of liking cars.
Yeah.
And so that's the icebreaker.
Yeah.
Is go and pick somebody's brains about a car or what that might be, and build from there. That would be my advice. How about you? How did you just said earlier you were driving around in a Cali T, not knowing anyone, knowing where to go. How did that begin? How did you start meeting people in the car scene?
Probably social media. Yeah, probably social media. That's what really, when I started meeting like-minded people, obviously when I met you guys, that really opened it up to linking up with different. Then I joined Supercar Driver, obviously, and then that's another world again. And then literally from there, you know, but like when you go to events, you just meet people and then they become your friends or not. Some people don't become your friends because you can't like everyone. And it's literally what you just said. You just, you know, you'll find people that you get on with that have the same interest as you. And literally some of my best friends now, I've met through social media. You're one of them. You know what I mean? So
how unfortunate.
Yeah, how unfortunate for me.
Okay, so these are 2 back-to-back questions I'll do, and then I'm going to hand the phone over to you. Firstly, Isaac Fern, looking at buying a Jaguar XK-RS, sweet ride, bruh, or Aston Martin Vantage S, but what about any other cars for 45k to look at? So 45 grand in the UK. I would not be buying a 45 grand Aston Martin Vantage, personally, because I just think they're just, even if you get a reliable car, they're just expensive to run, servicing. I don't think you can buy through Aston's Timeless program a Vantage S for 45k. Could be wrong. Correct me if I am. So at which point you're not going to have a warranty, you're not going to have a service, but you're not going to be looked after. You're going to have to do it independently. And I think, am I right, Tony, that they're just expensive cars to maintain?
Yeah, of course, because they have a expensive price tag from the start.
So parts, labour,
everything
is a lot.
It's a premium brand.
XKRS, I think, brilliant shout. How are they reliability-wise, XKs?
I've not had one for a long time, so yeah, I can't really.
But
comment.
also, for 45 grand, you could definitely get yourself an F-Type R or a V6 F-Type. 1,000,000%. You 45 grand, like.
I'd go Porsche.
Of course you would.
Get a proper Cayman or a proper 911.
You could probably get what, a 99? Could you get a 991?
You get a 991 bit
Carrera S or something like that.
Yeah, with some miles on it, you'd get one of them.
Or at least a 997.2.
You get a 991, mate.
You get a 991.
Yeah, 45, 50 grand. You get a 991.
Yeah, fair. I say F-Type at that point. M2. We've got to say an M2.
Yeah, you probably get the bloody new one.
That's
for
what I mean.
Close to that.
You know.
Yeah.
What else is kind of cool? A C63. Bit dead now, isn't it?
But you get almost as well. You get the new shape M4 for 50 grand.
45.
Oh, not 45. No.
I understand the appeal of the Vantage. I don't want a Vantage at hand. I just get nervous. For me, like, I think you've still got to be at the 60 or 70 grand for a Vantage, which point you can look at V12s.
I need to give you a head wobble, mate, in general.
Rev it in race, SLK 55 or 987 Boxster S.
Well, I know which one drives better, but I know which one I'd have.
Go on.
I'd have the Merc.
You'd have the SLK 55?
I would, yeah.
Would you?
I would,
why?
Yeah. Because it's a proper piece of poo-poo, but it's got loads of character. The Porsche is just like boring, but it'll work.
I don't know if it will in 987, mate.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
I adore Boxsters. I adore Boxsters more so than 986, which is a 996 generation. I like the 987 as well. The Boxsters I'm all about. SLK 55 is a riot, but I just can't quite get on board with its looks and size. Like, it's too small. Like, and hasn't it got that dodgy gearbox?
Well, I mean, it's got dodgy everything. I mean, the engine's a masterpiece, but yeah, I mean, fundamentally, it's not a very good car compared to the Porsche, but it will make you smile because it's so fast for what it is. I mean, it doesn't stop. It doesn't go around corners that well.
I'm so surprised you're saying this.
Yeah.
You like an old school AMG Merc. Scroll down from there. So.
Sometimes I can be surprised.
Surprising.
Okay, mate, I can't read these handles out. I mean,
No, fine.
I
Okay.
literally.
Just try.
What gives you both the biggest joy that's connected with cars these days?
The biggest joy connected with cars. Oh, you know what? This sounds cheesy as hell, but I really like meeting people who are like obsessive over their cars. You know, when we do like BTG lives, or even like on the, you know, my favorite part about the Portugal tour was David and his GT4.
Yeah, loved it.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Always laughing.
But like had only just got it,
Yeah,
hadn't really
yeah.
figured it out yet,
Yeah.
and was like, "Mate, I love this car." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so like, I like, that's where I get more joy now.
Yeah,
is, you know, if someone stops me or we're at one of our live shows and we get chatting to someone and they go, and they're just really into their car, I get a bit of joy from that.
Yeah.
It's like I share it. I'm like, I love that you love that car so much.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's quite a good answer, mate, to be fair. I don't think I could elaborate. I mean, that's quite good.
Because it's fun when you don't like it and they do.
Yeah, because I
Doesn't get the
literally don't
buzz.
like anything.
Yeah, exactly. But then see, like, that's, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of chances when I get behind wheels of things and I have a great time and I enjoy drives and I blah, blah. But that's the buzz I get at the moment. It's definitely, but there is a line, isn't there?
Oh, mate.
Because you don't.
Oh, mate. Because sometimes people come to me and this is the funniest thing. It really makes me laugh. And I go away from people sometimes and I think, what? I mean, how is he wired up? But, you know, they'll be so enthusiastic about this biggest pile of poo that I've ever seen in my life, and they get really into it and they tell me these stories, and I love hearing the stories, and I completely respect if someone thinks something's lovely, then fair enough, it's their car, it's their pride and joy, and I understand that. Just doesn't mean I have to like it, because we're all different. But that's the joy I get. I don't have to agree with it,
sure.
But it does make me laugh sometimes, and sometimes I go away and I think, no, he's not well, that guy.
Well, that's joyous as well.
Oh, yeah.
Do you need me to unlock it?
Yeah, unlock it, mate. Surprised I don't know your pin by now.
The key is keep your finger on the screen.
Keep your finger on the pulse.
Keep your finger on the pulse.
Okay, mate.
There you go.
Give me the phone, mate.
Keep going.
Okay, this is quite a good one. Any fun cars for young drivers, budget and insurance friendly?
Ooh. I am useless in terms of insurance friendly, but I'm sure. Is it still the rule?
Do you still pay your insurance? Someone else pay
keep your finger on the screen. So
I'm doing it, mate.
Yeah.
Do you pay your own insurance now? Or does someone else pay it?
I do, unfortunately. Have done for the last 15 or 16 years. Yeah. Last 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Is it still the rule of smaller engine, smaller insurance?
Yeah.
So then surely like a up GTI or Fiat Panda 100 horsepower. Do you know what I mean? Like a little.
Oh, do you remember them?
Yeah, they were Larry, mate.
Proper
cars.
I had a run of them about 2009, 2010. We used to sell them and they were nearly new.
Yeah.
And I'd literally buy them from a private individual and sell them directly to the Fiat dealers and have a markup.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because and they were wicked, just a cock a wheel.
Amazing little things.
Yeah.
Them Abarths. Are they expensive to insure?
They're expensive to insure.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, you're going too sporty. You need to be. That 100 HP was a good example. Bit old now, but I'd always say a little Fiesta or just an up.
Sure.
Like
not the GTI.
Not the GTI. Yeah.
Fair.
Just a normal. They're good fun then.
Yeah.
But there's so many, mate. Like little Citroen C1s and
yeah.
They're all good now. All these little cars, they're all mega.
You're right. I mean,
they all work.
There's our advice.
Yeah, they all work. I mean, they never, when we was kids, they just didn't work.
I mean, but my first car is a freaking 1.4 Golf.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a GTI, it wasn't a GTD, it wasn't an R32, and it was the best car in the world. I adored it. So you don't get caught up in the Instagram badge. You just get a car that you like.
Yeah. Okay, this is one. You two have done a lot of road trips together. What are each of your most annoying habits?
We've touched on this a bit. We have touched on this in a previous Q&A, but we can revisit it because it's good fun.
Oh, yeah. I haven't got any. Dude,
You've got two.
Mate, come on.
You've got two. But they're not annoying.
No.
You know what? We're in such a long-winded romantic relationship now. I find them endearing qualities.
Yep.
I think initially I was like, God, this guy's a knob. But now I'm like, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute when Tony does that. So two things. Your absolute aggressive determination to not speak a foreign language.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we'll go somewhere and they go, how come to America? And you go, you got a Merlot?
I cannot do it, mate.
Hello, hello,
lazy.
love. I'd like a latte.
Yeah.
And they go,
Yeah.
a latte. So that I just want, because I do find it amusing. And sometimes if I teach you one word like bonjour, you then walk around everyone go bonjour, bonjour to everyone. So and then the other one is also you are unbelievably competitive, but you love to play that you're not.
Yeah, but I'm only competitive around my friends. And obviously work related, I'm competitive. But like if we were somewhere, like for instance, if say we do the go-karting day and you wasn't on the track, I would not give two hoots about who's coming past me or who's faster. I do not care, mate. You're on the track, it's a big problem for me.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. But I actually think if you were on the track without me, you'd still...
I'll still have a go.
Yeah.
Still have a lunch.
You like... So that's my...
I'm still coming.
What are mine?
You again, like it's not annoying, but and sometimes I laugh at myself to it. Is your ability to try and get away from people sometimes? It is the funniest
You can't reveal
thing.
this, Tony, because you're going to start clocking it now.
I won't go into too much detail, but
no tricks.
but you do it with me sometimes, and that is annoying. That what's he doing that? But I know what you're doing. I know you do it, and again, not as bad as you were, but you're flapping this.
Yeah.
When you flap me. I mean, I just think it's funny now.
I know you do.
And it's not like, again, similar to me. They're endearing, funny qualities that actually make me laugh. But, the flapping bit is bloody hilarious.
I stress.
I
stress. Yeah. I get overwhelmed.
Yeah, you get really, really annoyed.
Right, go on. A few more.
All right, this is quite a good one. We'll both be able to answer this. Both best second car hot hatch under 20 grand. We can't answer the bear in mind insurance.
Yeah,
because we're not insurance experts and we're not car experts.
And it depends where you live. It depends what you do for a job. Depends on your age. Depends on so. I think everyone wants us to just deliver a car on screen that they're going to go, right, that's the one I'm going to go buy. Like, I'm always going to say Abarth. Because I just think they're a hoot and everyone writes them off, but I'm always going to lean towards Abarth.
Fair. And they are a great car, but if you want an all-rounder, you got to go Golf GTR or something like that, because it literally does everything. And it's not got quite the character of an Abarth, but as an all-round car that does everything.
What was the question exactly?
Best second car hot hatch under 20.
Second car. So it's a bit of a toy.
Yeah, fair.
So it can be compromised.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to go Megane then.
Oh, yes, mate.
Yeah.
Good shout.
I'll go Megane because that's not quite as good as a Golf practicality-wise, but it's a bloody good hoot, that car.
How much were those Larry Golfs with the roll cage in the back?
Too much money. They're still mid-20s.
Oh, good on them.
Club Sport. Yeah.
What else is in there? Mini? JCW Mini Cooper? Three-door?
Yeah, but I'd have the Abarth over that, I think. A bit more
I
character.
like a Mini, though.
Fiesta ST, maybe. But
What's
it's too...
TFJJ's Larry Blue one? What was that?
That's an ST3, yeah.
ST edition, but it was like some...
Yeah.
You want to get a Larry one?
Yeah, but they're not like... It's not... It's almost like too good, that car. It sort of does everything, you know? Like, you're right, you want to think a bit more out the box. Honda Civic Type R.
Oh, yes. But you get getting quite an old one for less than 20k, aren't you? Probably that weird triangle looking one.
Yeah, get the shape before last, basically.
Yeah.
Not it's not a turbocharged car, is it? I think it's just an NA car. Still great car, mate.
Still great car,
Yeah.
Yeah, or Clio RS. I'd get a Renault Sport Type R, like, you know, just real
something
hot hatch,
different. Yeah.
proper,
Yeah. They're the best two, Renault and the Hondas. If you wanted something a bit more practical.
Right, you pick one more question, then I'll pick one more, and we're going to wrap things up.
Okay, so this is quite a good one as well. If two car brands could merge, Aston Martin using AMG engine as an example, which two would you like to see?
Oh, I would immediately like Maserati to start using Ferrari engines again. If that new Gran Turismo had the Roma engine in it, vibes. So that I'd like to see again.
I'd go really Larry, I would.
Go on.
Let's have a car like Porsche engineering with a Ferrari engine in it. I mean, that's a proper car.
Collaboration between Ferrari and Porsche.
Yeah, two proper powerhouses merge, making a proper car.
Thing is, okay, that doesn't happen.
No.
But
he didn't say what brand.
We do already see it basically across the board. He just mentioned Aston Martin and Mercedes.
Yeah.
The VW group means that Porsche, Bentley, Audi, like it's all somehow crossed mishmash in and around itself. So I can't think of too many, and there's not, like, I would have put the V8 Jag engine in I don't know what. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't like
in a 911.
No.
Something worse.
Yeah.
V8 Jag engine.
Because that's, for me, that's one of the best engines out there.
A great engine.
It's a big, shouty, like Larry, supercharged V8 engine.
Yeah.
What would you shove that in? And what brands would it make sense for them to collaborate?
Because you got to look sports car as well.
Yeah. Or, you know, or SUVs or something like it could go, or a saloon. Like, where could that engine go in and be like, yeah, that's cool. Like, collaboration between Jag and
BMW.
Fair.
Put it in an M4.
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, that's
have
you're
a
right.
bit of that, and then add a bit more character.
BMW meets Jag.
Yeah.
There you go. Well done. So
Flying.
we'll try and pick the last question. Bit of a strange one.
Yeah.
CP Tout 25. How often do you wash your cars? Have them washed? Let's leave it on that. Go on. Let's be honest here.
Well, I don't wash my car
No, you don't. How often do you get them washed?
when they're dirty.
Yeah. I went to get the GT3 the other day before Supercar Driver Secret with me. It had a thick layer of dust on it.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm going to send that car to Windrush because I've sort of tried to basically cheap that car, and I keep it sort of down the road. But every time I go, like something's leaked on it, or I always feel a bit like, I wonder if it's half of it that always checks the tracker. Like every couple of I just check the tracker. I wonder if it's still there. I think I've just been cheapskating it. Literally, I went to collect it and it just had this thick, and I think not only had this thick level of dust on it, but something's been dripping on it where I think it's stained the PPF. So I think I've got to send it to suck it up and just.
I remember I had the M3 wash literally the other day, and it hadn't been washed, and it had been to Germany twice, and it was absolutely rotten. And I come out of my house and I thought, I need to get that washed. Yeah. And I didn't have time to take it back to work, so I literally took it to a car wash and had it washed. They'd done a terrible job, but it still looked miles better than what it did. It was rotten, mate.
You get it washed, you go, that's quite a nice car now.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, look, at the end of the recording, there is still one space remaining for the tour. If you head over to the website, you will be told immediately if it's already sold out. So apologies if we're doing some false advertising here. But that brings an end to this week's episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. We will be back with you next week. Yes, we will. Ahead of the insanity that is Festival of Speed, British Grand Prix, and some travel coming up. If you want to follow Tony in the meantime, he's at Tony Gravelwood Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seen Through Glass, and this podcast is at Behind the Glass __podcast. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.